There we go. Let's try that now. I didn't get a chance to test the rig out earlier and literally just spent the last 15 minutes putting things together because I don't have the permanent rig down here yet. So, good evening, Track Gang, and welcome to another installment of Sidetrack Sunday. Happens to be the fourth Sunday for July 2024. It happens to be July 28th. Can't hear. Yeah, okay, Dwight. Always the prankster, Dwight. Funny thing of it is, here I don't know if anybody else caught it, but on the intro I had the music playing, and then while it was playing, I all of a sudden had it overlay, and I'm like, wait a minute, where the heck is that coming from? And I forgot that I had YouTube up and it wasn't muted. So yeah, of course I figured that out pretty quick. But anyway, yeah, technical difficulties always. I appreciate the prankster Mr. Dwight. I absolutely appreciate that. It keeps me on my toes, sir. Of course, while this thing is playing, I also realized that I need to update the intro because I've still got the old Sidetrack Sunday logo up there. So I got to go back at some point and fix that. So, hey, anyway, it is what it is. Like I said, welcome aboard. This is going to be an interesting show. I've got a few things that I want to go over, and I'm sorry if I'm looking down. The camera is actually on top of the monitor that I still can't use. That's a story I'll get into here in a bit, but we're going to get started like we usually do, and that is with our participants list. Let's see what we've got in here for our participants. And I know there probably isn't that many, but that's okay. It's summertime. People are on vacation. Okay, so we've got Opa Dodge. Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider, is in the house. Welcome in, sir. Artie down there at Oz America Model Railroading, the land down under. We've got Deep Run Railroad Mr. Mike. We've got James over at the Dundas Junction. We've got JD over at Grandpa Rails. We've got Ed over at Happy Valley Hobbies. We've got this fellow Joe Raider. How you doing, Joe? Thanks for all the help in the last couple of weeks, sir. I do appreciate it. We've got Mr. Dwight over at the Curly Express. We've got me. I think I'm here, although I'm not 100% certain. We've got Mr. Ron Moen in the house. We've got Santa Fe Bob. We've got John number 2 over at the Schuylkill River Valley. And, of course, bringing up the rear of the train, we've got Wig Wag Workshop, or as we like to call him, 3Dub. And I know that there was a couple other folks that popped in here. We've got Darby Rail Services is in the house. Welcome in. I think I pretty much captured everybody. So, and of course, as we all do, hey, Dan's Model Railroading Journey just stopped in. Thank you, sir. One of the things that I will bring up, you'll notice that there are some folks in here that are handling a wrench and that they are blue or purple in color. Those are my moderators, and they're here to keep you in line and hopefully me on track, which never freaking happens. So there was a few more folks that happened to pop in here. Let's see, or at least the participants list jumped on me, and I have no idea. Oh, Dave over at DB Tech is in the house. Rail Artist is in the house, and Alan over at the Mason Dixon is in the house. Welcome in, folks. Appreciate y'all being here on this wonderful Sunday night. Let's see. I think that'll do it for the moment. So I'm going to switch back over here to StreamYard. Let's see. Just an update. Vinny is in the hospital. I'll post a link to his video. Yeah, definitely keep Vinny in your prayers. Thanks, Artie. Appreciate the help there, buddy. Hey, Classic Model Trains. Mr. Ron is in the house. I didn't even see him pop in. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here. I did catch your video earlier today with the the temporary O-scale layout outside. That was pretty cool. I didn't get a chance to comment on it. I caught it a little bit late and was right before dinner. So anyway, what I'm going to do. Artie, I think we've had this discussion numerous times, and anybody else who happens to be in the chat here, to be honest, there's no friendship. We're all freaking family at this point, you know. this is a family reunion. Oh man. Anyway, a couple of things well, I'm going to go ahead and start right off here. Wait, I'm supposed to keep you on track. Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. That ain't gonna freaking happen. 3 minutes in and we're already having fun. I appreciate it. I love it. Oh man. Family takes it up 50 notches. Pretty much. Anywho, and I forgot to let John and a couple other folks know. Let me go ahead and get this together here real quick because I didn't do it earlier and I should have. I don't know if it's actually. I don't know if the website is there or not. So you're gonna have to pardon me just for a second as I look up to see if. Let's see. Nope, the old one's still there. Just to give you all a little bit of a heads up, your 3D printer working yet? It works. I just haven't had a chance to sit there and fiddle with it to figure out how to scale things down. Everything that I print out's like 50 times larger than it needs to be. So I just haven't had a chance to mess with it, JD. And at this point, I think I'm just going to bite the bullet at some point and get myself another one and get rid of this ice box that's over here. Hey, Steve, 87 PSAP is in the house. Welcome in, sir. Eventually. It's not going to happen anytime soon for obvious reasons. It's just one of those things. I did have in the description for this video, I wanted to touch on the Stella Crab Feast. That is still happening in October. The thing is they have had some issues with some things and they haven't gotten everything updated yet. Hopefully, I will be hearing more about that shortly. Hopefully, we will stop using a Chinese ruler. No, there's just something with whatever program it's Repeatier or whatever the heck it is, and I just haven't been able to mess with it. Not enough people with crap. Oh, geez, really, Artie? God, Zooks. So yeah, send it to you, Dwight. I think you've seen pictures of this crazy thing. It's the size of it's the size of a small refrigerator. You know, one of those old dorm refrigerators. It's about the same size. To ship it someplace would be ridiculous. Any rate, back over to Stella Maris in October the 12th and 13th, I think it is. They are still going to have their crab feast on the 12th or the 13th. I'm sorry, that would be on that Sunday. As far as I know, as of right now, that is still in the works. Like I said, they've had some things that they've been working through. They just haven't gotten the website updated. I do believe, according to my daughter, they have sent out emails. So it is what it is. As soon as I get more information, I will let everybody know. So anybody who is coming in October, like I said, once I have some more information, if you are interested in doing that day of giving over there, because it's at the fairgrounds. So like getting crabs for the feast. No, that hasn't been the issue. There's some other things going on, and I'm not gonna touch on that. So let's just say the person that's kind of the overall has had some personal issues, and they're running a little bit behind. We'll leave it at that. I think that's the best way to put it. Soft crabs. I love soft crab. Put that on between two pieces of bread with some mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomato. Yeah. A fried soft crab. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's a delicacy down here. Anyway. Hey, possum bayous in the house. So that's pretty much it on Stella Maris. So we're just going to move on. Now, as everybody is pretty much aware, last year, actually, for the last year's crab feast, my daughter surprised me and got me a year membership to the Baltimore Streetcar Museum. Now, one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up, they just had their crab feast yesterday. But one of the things that they are working on, hey, Zartaro, Zoe, welcome in. One of the things that they are working towards, and I should have pulled that link too. That would have been a good one to pull, wouldn't it? Let's see. Let's do Baltimore Baltimore Streetcar Museum. There we go. Hey, look at that. I found it. Copy. We'll drop that in here. All right. So this is the link to the Baltimore Streetcar Museum. Now, the reason why I wanted to kind of touch on this one, this is something very unique for the local area, for the folks around Baltimore. I realize that for some that are outside of the Baltimore area, it may not be as big of a thing, but what they're trying to do is really unique. I know Jerry Sattarelli, Boxcar Jerry, he's done some woodworking for them down there at the Streetcar Museum. Do they have drive-bys with the street? I have tested that. I just haven't done any airbrushing, James, to be honest. Anyway, the Streetcar Museum, which, like I said, my daughter won me a membership to which I've actually done one day down there where I got to actually operate a streetcar, which was freaking awesome. PK&W, welcome in, sir. How you doing, Mr. Keith? Anyway, what they're doing is oh, nice, cool, rail artist. Did I screw PK&W up again? Is that Bob? I'm cheese and crackers. I don't know how I keep getting him and Keith. Never mind. One of these days, I am going to set myself up, and I've said this numerous times. I'm going to set up a Excel spreadsheet with everybody's YouTube channel and their actual name, so I don't screw things up like this. Anyway, Rail Artist is here to go ahead and just have fun with me. That's what it is. So, any rate, what the Baltimore Streetcar Museum is in the process of trying to do is take over a piece of history that is in downtown Baltimore. What am I talking about? The old Maryland and Pennsylvania. Thank you, Zoe. The Maryland and Pennsylvania Roundhouse. That's the Ma and Pa Railroad. Their old roundhouse is still down on the rail line that the Baltimore Streetcar Museum uses for their streetcars. So in the latest newsletter that they sent out, I'm hoping that I can get, there we go. Hey, look at that. Whoop, let's go to, there we go. There we go. There is a rendering of what they're going to try to do with that old roundhouse. They want to move the car barn up from the end of the line up next to the roundhouse, and they actually want to turn the roundhouse into a museum for the streetcars that are no longer operable. And that is, to me, pretty freaking cool. So there's two things going on there. You've got living history with the streetcars themselves, and then you've got the museum that they're going to take the old roundhouse and turn it into a museum. The problem is that the city of Baltimore has used that roundhouse as a maintenance of way for their public works. So they've been storing salt for salting the roadways when it snows. They've been storing salt in there. Of course, the old roundhouse, the old turntable's been paved over. That was done long ago. But they, like I said, the BSM, the Baltimore Streetcar Museum, is looking to possibly go ahead and buy that piece of property from the city and actually turn it into a museum, which I think is going to be great. I'm hoping that they're able to pull it off. It's going to take time, though, and it's also going to take money. Obviously, everything does. But you have to start someplace. If you turn a roundhouse into a museum, then how will you know when you're done the tour? From one end to the other. When it stops spinning, there you go, Artie. One of the other things that's unique, and I don't know if it showed up in the when I brought the picture up there or not, on the over here. Yeah, there is a bridge. And that is one of the old Maryland and Pennsylvania Railroad bridges that they've actually got sitting down there on the ground. So yeah, that would be there. They want to put that kind of in place to basically show that off too. Thank you, Zoe. I actually got this down at the Baltimore, Ohio Railroad Museum years ago. It should be called a semi-roundhouse. Well, they're not storing trucks in there, Anthony. They're just storing trains. If it was a semi-roundhouse, it would have 18-wheelers, right? Oh, sorry. Boom. Yeah, I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress. So that was the neat update from them. I mean, to me, like I said, I've been down there a couple of times. And that roundhouse is really, really cool. Cool. Nice, Zoe. The guys up in Newcastle used to play spin the bottle with the third. Okay. Alrighty then. So thank you, John. I appreciate that. Maybe they could get more than salt. Hey, you know what they could do, Steve? Just as a side joke, if they got Morton Salt and Duracell to sponsor it, then you could say it was done by a salt and battery. Boom, boom. Like I said, I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress. I know that was bad. I know Dave from DV Tech's probably on the floor by now, but that's beside the point. Anyway. Let's see here. What the heck is going on with my chat? I don't know. My chat just kind of froze. I don't know what happened to the chat. We don't tip in Australia. No, but out in the Midwest, they do cow tipping, but, that's something different. So, of course, that's what you do with needle and thread. You'll just lean. I'm actually from Maryland, otherwise known as the state of confusion. I spend my life there in the state of confusion. That is. That's just the easiest way to put it, Zoe. Anyway, okay. So a horse walks into a bar. Yeah, you'd think he would have seen it. I'm here at work, but the Olympics are playing in the background. Ah, gotcha, Adam. Evening, sir. So says why the long no boy. But bumps. Yeah, that's almost as bad as two lawyers walk into a bar. You think the first one would have said something. Anywho, now that I've completely lost my I have never had a train of thought. Mine never left the station; it fell off the tracks. One of the things that I forgot to show in the last episode, and it actually does show up in the next one already. Yeah, it's the old line state. So anyway, did it ever get to the station? No, probably not. In fact, the last time it got to the station, I went ahead and kicked somebody out of the vehicle and kept on going. Wouldn't happen to know who that was. So in the last episode 20, what was it, 20, 21, whatever, the one that came out last Friday, I talked about doing the pedestrian railroad crossing. So basically, when I got done, that's what it looked like. Now, on the backside, you can see that it was nothing but index card, but the wood portion was done with tapered toothpicks. And then, of course, I stained that with burnt umber. Now, the way that you do that is you take your acrylic paint and you really thin it out. So that's how I did the staining on that piece. Like I said, when it's actually on the railroad over there, it really, really fits the bill. It really looks good. I was going to try and show this. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up because it's a big piece. So yeah, the bridge has been done, Dave. The bridges that I'm still messing with though are the interurban one and the highway bridge. That when those two are still a work in progress, and they will be until I get finished with this monstrosity. Really? Okay. Now ignore the blue tape because that's actually where the buildings belong. And why did it go out of focus? Come on now. Focus. One of the issues that I had with this, that is the highway and byways road striping kit. Now, great stuff. It's the first time I've ever actually used it. This is the obviously the striping tape. One issue is, yeah, I can't get it on screen. Over here, this radius is obviously really, really tight. It's a very tight radius, and to try and spin or curve that striping tape didn't work. I just couldn't. I just could not get it to bend that radius, and I don't know what else to do with it. So right now that's what it is. I think it'll work. So the next step with this, and of course it's talked about in the next episode, is going ahead and the spots where I've got the tape is actually painting those areas brown and then green and then dropping ground foam on top of it. You know, Grandpa, wait a minute. Let me back up here a minute. What about the house? You know what? We need to get with our buddy Mr. Rick and figure out what the heck's going on, because to be honest with you, I haven't had a chance to mess with it. I have been on this kick of trying to get the scenery done um, around that, or on that bridge, or not the bridge, but the hill, which is the first thing you see when you come down the steps at this place. I have been so focused on trying to get that done, I haven't even messed with the house. I really, really haven't had the chance to. So, it's just one of those things. Dwight, what it is the fact that I'm looking at the laptop screen, and the camera is actually up on top of. Here, let me try and do it this way. See if this works any better. Probably not. Oh, there we go. Now it's on top of the laptop screen. I'm also sitting a little bit closer than what I normally do, so it is what it is. Hey, Nathan DeLay is in the house. Welcome in. So like I said, back to the Willamine house. I haven't done anything with it. After we did the first part, I built. Did I actually build? I started building the second section, or the intermediate piece, and it was. Let's put it this way: that thing was starting to frustrate the crap out of me. Hey, Dave, Sparky 107, welcome in. So, and then not to mention the fact that the first building, the main building, of course, I took all that time to cut out that clapboard siding, and the glue never stuck, which brings me to the issue that I had last week. And I mentioned it in the next video. And that is, I wasn't paying attention. And what happened is this foam core that I've got has a matte side and a gloss side. And when it was used for the events that my daughter had, they used the matte side, because guess what? Stuff sticks to the matte side. It does. It just works better because it's got a tooth to it. The gloss side doesn't have much of a tooth. And it didn't dawn on me that the roadway that I built, or the scenery that I had built underneath of Union Station, I can't do that. I won't be able to see the chat. When I built the scenery around Union Station, that was the foam core that I gotten from the dollar store. That was the old stuff. That was 3/16 of an inch, I think it is, and this here is like an eighth or a little bit more than that. Actually, I think this is 3/8. This is thicker. At any rate, obviously, when you have a gloss finish, things do not stick to gloss. It just doesn't work that way. So what I did when I went ahead and repainted the roadway is I actually took a sanding block that I had and sanded the spots that pulled up on me, and then repainted the gray, and then I laid down the stripes. What I'm probably going to end up having to do with the house is I'm probably going to end up having to pull all that siding back off, sand it down, and then put it back on again. At this point, the thing has just turned into much more of a project, which I knew it wasn't going to be an easy one by any stretch of the imagination, and I'd like to get it done. But I think between you, me, and Rick, JD, I think we had an unrealistic expectation. I really do, of being able to get that thing done when we said we were going to get it done. So, like I said, we need to catch back up with Mr. Rick the Tree and figure out what we're going to do with it. Because, like I said, I would like to get it done, but I don't want to rush it at this point either. And I got way too far ahead of myself with that. So we'll get back to it. I just don't know when. We'll have to set something up and discuss it. So anyway, so that's all I had. So, all right, we're done now. So basically, that's some of the stuff that I've been working on. What beer comes in a blue? This isn't beer, Sparky. You should know better. I don't drink. At least beer. Beer makes me sick. So this is just iced tea. It's just iced tea. Yeah, I know that Ken said it would take us over a year. I think he's going to be pretty close. And it's probably going to be closer to a year and a half by the time we get it done. Well, hello, Miss Emma. Oh, you're going to go back upstairs? Okay. So let's see. Unfortunately, Zoe, I am not a sports fan. I do watch NASCAR from time to time. I do like Kyle, but like I said, I'm just not into sports anymore. I haven't really sat down and watched a sport in 14 years. In fact, I don't even watch TV much. I don't even watch TV anymore. That's another subject for another time. So let's see. What else have I got going on over here? Somebody must be walking past the front of the house. I can hear Emma down here barking in my retirement rate. I got at least 10, maybe 15 years before I'm even close to it. I got a long way to go, James. Something else that I've been working on. I'm not going to tell you what this is for. And of course, it's a little bit, the camera is shining or the monitor is shining off of it. But yeah, this is brickwork. But I'm not going to tell you what I'm using this for. I still have to go back and put the mortar lines in. I just painted this afternoon, so the paint's still a little soft. So this was done with acrylics. And yes, the paint's a little uneven, but that was done on purpose to make it look like aged brick, which it is for where it's going. Hey, Mr. Kramer. Long time no hear, my friend. Holy moly, it's been a few years, sir. How you doing, bud? That's one of my old. That's a former coworker of mine. Good to see you, sir. Let's see. Yeah, I know. We said Rick's name 3 times, and he shows up. Can't get rid of the tree. What's going on, Mr. Fultz? Or Mr. Bailey? I'm sorry. What is going? Oh, that's. Oh my goodness. I keep hearing noises. I know, Sparky, you've mentioned it. I know you've mentioned it before. You know, why do I wear the headphones? It's because of the fact that when I was doing the intro stuff and so on, I could hear it in here. I really don't need them because I'm up here by myself, but that's beside the point. We were talking about some sort of a building that we're supposed to be working on. You, me, and JD. You remember that? Do you remember that wonderful project that we started last year that we still haven't finished? Something about it. There was something about a Willamine house. we need to discuss that thing. Okay, time to go out into the yard and move LRVs around. Okay. Sounds like fun. Um we him and I used to, well, I still do. I work for Comcast. I know, go ahead. I'm waiting for the Stones. But what I do is I am a video engineer. I've basically been doing that for on and off. Well, not on and off, but basically I've been doing video engineering work for, oh, geez, 25 years, 24 years. So I've been doing digital video work for 20 some years, and then I started out stringing cable in the field. So, who is your favorite Canadian or Australian? I'm not picking sides. Oh man. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's sitting next to the 2023 cars. Yeah, we're not even close to playing around with the 2024 cars yet. I'm not even sure what the heck was decided as to what we were doing for 2024. Yeah, Mr. Mike. Going back to Nathan's question, Mike used to work the call center, and I, like I said, I did the engineering stuff, so still do. I just do it for the entire Northeast Division, basically from Western Pennsylvania to the Atlantic Ocean, from Northern North Carolina all the way up to Maine. So yeah, I've got quite a bit. I got quite a bit of territory that I work on. No, I work on I'm all the stuff that I do is in the background, Nathan. Yeah, all the stuff that I do is in the background. Now, when I first started for the company, I was working on the outside, working from the pole to the house. And then I went in, started working inside where I was doing board level repair, and then they switched me over to working on digital. So you won't make a Wonder Woman jet for STS. We wouldn't be able to see it. You know, what's the point in that? We wouldn't be able to find it. Oh, Grandpa Rails is having cataract surgery on the right eye August 8th, so I can see what I've been missing. Well, he's going to have his eye on us. Oh, jeez. You caught my eye. Ba-dum-bumps. Ay, ay, ay. What was the one that I saw the other day? I don't know. You haven't missed much, Grandpa Rails. No. That's for sure. That's for sure. So, you know what? He's going to do a pirate stream. Arr. Ba-dum-dum-dum-dum. Oh, geez. Seventh visit, Anthony. Is that there's that much to see? Wait a minute. What did I miss here? I missed something along the way. I can't find. Oh, Anthony's headed back over to miniature. Pardon me, Miniature Wonderland. Nice. Nice. Oh, jeez. Did they surrender yet? Sorry. Yeah, best of luck to you there, Grandpa. All kidding aside. All kidding aside. Let's see. So, I'm going to ask a question here because usually everybody is asking me. I'm going to ask one. I'm going to ask one of the groups. So, what are the projects that you're working on right now? PK and will go there once you'll understand. You'll always want to go back. Something new every year, remodeled or added. Yeah, I that is still on my bucket list, is to get over there and see Miniature Wonderland. I want to go over there and see that. I want to go up to New Jersey and see the why is it yeah, it's for whatever reason it's completely slipped my mind. Hi, geez. And I keep seeing ads for it too. Yeah, that one. Exactly. Northlands. Thank you, Ed. Yeah, that's that. I'd like to get up there too. Like I said, that one there is probably a little bit more realistic because it's kind of right up the road. Waiting on Jack to send buildings for his layout. Yeah, I've heard that Jack's got a heck of a project, which means that Mr. Joe's going to have a heck of a project. Hey, Frank Steeler fan, welcome in. Long time no see, sir. Got the trolley point-to-point line and the incline working with her. Nice, Dave. So when you come down here in October, no, I'm only kidding. I mean, I realize, let me put this out there real quick. I realize that Northlands isn't for everybody. To me, I just want to see it for the spectacle that it is. I mean, I realize it's not realistic. I mean, for goodness sakes, they got a toothpick farm. They've got grandma's pit where they've got a house in the middle of a strip mine. You know, it's fantasy. You know, but just the pure sense of the thing and just the size of the thing. I would love to see it. It's kind of like one of these things I keep talking about, wanting to get over to see Howard Zane's layout. Howard is not that far from me. If anybody here knows Howard Zane, I've been wanting to get over there. I know Ken Amos knows him fairly well. I know Al Puglisi knows him pretty well. You know, but I just haven't had a chance to catch up with either one of them to be able to go over there and see that, you know, to see that railroad. That is another one that's on my bucket list. I want to get down to the Georgia Sun Belt. I want to go down and see Anthony's layout. Joe and I are actually working on something to be able to get down there. It's just the fact that, well, you know, of course, timing couldn't have been worse, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, I know you can help with that, Dave. Thank you very much. Oh, boy. So, you know, there are layouts. I'd love to be able to get up to see Sparky's. That's another one that's on the list. I know that there's quite a few that I'd love to go see. That, you know, I haven't had a chance to. You know, there's a couple of places that I'd like to take the wife and daughter and be able to go up to. I want to go back up to Altoona. I want to be able to go and see that museum. I didn't see that museum the day we were there because we were up there just to see Horseshoe Curve and we were hanging out. And of course, the weather went south. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get home before it gets any worse. I'd love to get back up to Steamtown one of these days. I'd love to get over to Jim Thorpe because I missed that one. You know, I didn't get a chance to go out there this year. You know, there's just a lot of things that I'd like to do. There's some other rail fanning things that I'd love to do. I'd love to go down to Ashland, Virginia, and see that area. That just looks really cool. The train's running right through the middle of town. That would be awesome to be able to go ahead and do that. I'd like to go ahead and do the Cass, or even go out to the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad. Either one or both. I mean, I did the Potomac Eagle not that long ago. And Dave, you're absolute. Hey, I've said it before. My email's on my about page. If you're going to be in the area, give me a little bit of a heads up so that way I can make sure that I'm available. But the door, it's open. It's open. You want to come in, see the BNN? Absolutely. Absolutely. The thing is, with all the support that we gave each other through, and the reason why I'm still a part or doing these on Sundays is because of the fact that what we went through back in 2020. I still say today that got a lot of us through the garbage that went on in 2020. I can't imagine trying to go through that without being able to have some fun on the side. And we did. With the live streams, live streams popped up all over the place, mine included. That's how this whole thing got started. But to be perfectly honest, we've been supporting each other for years. And it's just one of those things. I absolutely would love to be able to catch up with some of the folks that are in here and be able to see their layouts. And of course, the flip side, like I said, come on down. It's interesting because I was looking through or was watching a video the other night, and they brought up, or no, it wasn't a video. Actually, it was actually Jimmy over at DYI and Digital. He was talking about the NMRA, and there was something else. I think he had some sort of a discount too, which I did sign up for. But there was a thing in there about Alan Keller's great model railroads, and there are some railroads in there that I know or that I think are still around that are somewhat close to me. I'd love to be able to go see some of them. The Cumberland Valley System would be one. That one there was one. The Pittsburgh and Western. I forgot who actually did that one. I just saw that one the other night. I kind of missed out, and I'm pretty sure it's gone now. I don't know what happened, if it's still around or not. And that would have been Laurel Joyner's Great Southern. I would have loved, even though I'm not an O-scaler, I would have loved to have seen that layout. Let's see what's another one that I happened to hear about the other day that I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. The Sunset Valley System was another one. I'd love to be able to I'd love to be able to see that. Bruce Chubb's layout. I know that the Virginian and Ohio of Alan McClellan isn't around anymore. I would have loved to have seen that. Unfortunately, I know that one's gone by the wayside. There was another one. Monroe Stewart has a layout. I think it's down outside of DC that I'd love to go. That one's an N scale, but I'd love to be able to go see that one too. Love to be able to get up to just show it up. Love to be able to get up and see Anthony Dodge, be able to see his layout. That of course, as impressive as it is on the video, I'm sure it looks even better in person. I know he's still got a lot, just like the rest of us. He's got a lot of work to do, but hey, yeah, let's see. What did I miss here? I missed something about James Hardy a pillow on the floor. Oh man. Getting a passport is more useful than you think, more than border crossings. Okay. And eventually, hopefully, one of these days, it's in the cards, and I'd be able to get over to Australia. But I just don't see that happening anytime soon, unfortunately. There's just unfortunately, way too much going on. And, I just can't, I'm not going to be able to do that anytime soon. Let's see, what else have we got? And Nathan, I know you've been in the neighborhood down here before, dude. I think one of the train shows you made it down here to Timonium and had a split on us, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll like I said, you ever get down here, shoot me an email. Artie needs more spare beds if we all go over to visit him. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? But like I said, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I know Possum. I know that Rusty was sitting there and saying that, absolutely, or no, it was Bob over PK&W. Yeah, this community. I mean, we definitely held it together. I think. I mean, I know some of us were crazy before it started, but and some of us have gotten a little crazier over time. Wouldn't know who. So, but yeah. I mean, we definitely. That's why I said friends. Hell, I think I know some of these people in here. Some of the folks that are in here, I think I know them more like family than friends. So. But like I said, there are places that I would love to get. I'd love to go. I want to go back up the Yankee Dabbler. I just haven't. That just hasn't been in the cards either. I'd love to just go back up there. Just to root around for a bit and talk to the guys. I mean, that was a blast the day that was up there with Ian and Anthony from the Georgia Sun Belt and Rick and Jerry. That was a fun time. That was great. Yeah, and that's the thing. You hit my place, you can go over to Joe's. He's only 10 minutes down the road, or vice versa. You go over to see Joe, you can come over here. Favorite locomotive type. Whew. Zoe, I'm going to break this down a little bit because I'm going to go over to, first off, I'm going to start with steam. And probably one of my favorite locomotives from the steam era is my 210-2. It's a Baltimore, Ohio. That's really neat. How far am I from New Jersey? It's about, I think when I went up to Yankee Dabbler, I think it was like an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. Timonium. Good question, Dave. Hold on. I should have pulled that up. Let me go ahead and do that. GSMTS. Great Scale Model Train Show. No, it didn't give me what I was looking for. And that's because I didn't spell it right or didn't type it right. GSMTS. There we go. Great Scale Model Train Show. Okay. 12th and 13th of October. And if there's anybody interested, let's go over here and drop that in the chat. There we go. October 12th and 13th, and I just put the link to the show in the chat. So going back to Dan, I'm about, like I said, an hour and a half. I think it was hour and a half or hour and 14 minutes up the Yankee Dabbler. But that was a good time. And as far as the Great Scale Model Train Show, this here, I'm literally 10 minutes down the road. That is at the Timonium Fairgrounds, the Timonium State Fair. So it's Yeah. Let's see. Wait a minute. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. I will be there about an hour, half hour from Yankee on an. Oh, okay. I don't know if I can swing that. I'll let you. I'll keep you posted on that one. But I appreciate that, Dan. What the heck is my area is saved? I know. Okay. Um, Sincerely hope that I'm part of the family, at least a distant cousin. Absolutely. Jeez. Oh man. Oh boy. And Ed says he's 3 hours from Amherst. That's another thing that's on my to-do list. Not sure if that's going to happen. Anyway, back to Zoe's question. Sorry. About the locomotives. Steam era. Definitely the 210-2. I'm also a fan of the cab forward and the big boy, but as far as big locomotives for the home road goes, that's definitely one of them. One of the other locomotives that I'd like to get is one of the Chesapeake and Ohio. What is it? The 2662s. That thing is just. I'd love to have a model of that on hand. I don't think I'd ever be able to run it on the layout, but I'd like to have one. Going over to diesels. People already know I'm crazy. I love the BL2s. It's a design that only an odd person could love, I guess. I think coming in a close second behind the BL2 is probably the BQ237. And then behind that would be the RF16 Sharknose. They are just iconic. They just had a different look about them. And they don't look like anything else out there. So, if you hadn't figured it out, Zoe, I'm into the oddball looking locomotives, at least as far as the diesels go. And if we want to go one step further and go over to the pure electric locomotives, the GG1s, specifically the Blackjack. So yeah, I mean those are in those three categories. Those are my favorite locomotives. Just the icons. To be perfectly honest with you all, and of course anybody who's I know there's a lot of people that have seen them, and very few that actually have seen one of them run. But the thing that got me years ago, what was that, Sparky, 2019 when we went up to Steamtown, and you actually got to stand next to, what is that, 4011 or 4012? The big boy that they've got up there, and the mass of that thing. It's ridiculous that something that's that big could move. I mean, it's just just mind-boggling that something that large, man-made, could move. Granted, okay, you put it next to a battleship or something like that, and it's like, okay, it's small. I'm talking about with wheels. That thing is just insane. I'd love to be able to catch one of them running. 40, and I know 4014 is really the only one that's left that's in operating order. I would love to be able to catch that sucker. But I don't think that there's anything this far east that could handle the heft of that thing. That's the problem. And that's one of the things that they even talked about up in Steamtown. That's a cosmetic restoration because the rails up there can't handle it. It's too heavy. And a lot of the rails around on the East Coast were never designed to handle a locomotive of that weight or size, for that matter. How the heck they ever got the thing there, I have no idea. I'm sure, Sparky. I'm sure I've seen the videos of it, but Hey, Ron Montague, welcome in, sir. Yeah, exactly. Just like seeing a C5 Galaxy or a super tanker float on. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's just the mass of the thing. It's just like how. I mean, just insane. Going back, just talking about 4012 or any of the big boys. When I was in the service, I was in Norfolk, Virginia, and the Iowa before it had the accident was pierside. And somewhere in my totes of pictures upstairs, I have a picture that I took bow on of the Iowa, where you see the knife edge of the actual bow, and it literally just goes like this. It literally just goes. It's the width of the thing is just ridiculous, and it's like, how in the heck did that thing even move? Much less the guns. So it was just really, you talk about the super tankers and all. Yeah, they're big. The other thing that got me years ago was, being in Norfolk, Virginia, they had, I think it was the Tarawa, which was LHA number 4. That's a helicopter assault ship. And they had the John F. Kennedy sitting next to it. Okay, and most people would think, well, gee, the John F. Kennedy is a huge super carrier. That thing probably dwarfed the Tarawa. Oh, no, 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 no. The Tarawa was much shorter and a little bit narrower, but height-wise, it was higher. Literally, the flight deck of the Tarawa was above the bridge for the Kennedy. And it was like, wait a second. I thought that the aircraft carriers were the biggest things that we had. Well, what you have to remember with the LHAs it was the fact that the well deck, which is underneath, floods, so they can actually sink the ship a little bit to bring in the what they call LCACs or landing cushion vehicles, also other LSTs and things of that nature. So that's the reason why it sits so much higher, because the bottom third of it can be submerged. So it's like really, really awesome. I've walked under the LHA in the sea. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know exactly where I'm coming from, Rusty. Yeah, I missed that one too. I really, really, really. It is what it is. You can't make every one of them. You really can't. 4014 sat for years in LA County Fairgrounds. We used to park by it when we were going to the drag races. Yeah, okay. You still playing Warships, Sparky? Oh no. The Kennedy was not a super carrier. Was much more. Yeah. Comparatively, you're right. It's not like the newer carriers that we got out there now. Of course, I'm still salty over the fact that there isn't an Enterprise. But Rusty, aircraft carrier, the Canada doesn't have any. Yeah, they just borrow ours. Take it easy, Bob. I'm not sure which Bob. Okay, it was PK and W is leaving. Gotcha. Oh, you're talking about World of Warships. I've seen that. I just can't. I don't know. I've been messing around with now. I guess it's been for about 2 years. Star Trek Fleet Command, and I've gotten so far into that thing that it's just like I'm to the point now. It's like, man, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, there is so much to do, and I'm not even doing half of the stuff. And it is what it is. That's really the only game that I mess with. Is that one. So It is what it is. Yes, absolutely. 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 James, sloppy seconds are good. Yeah, definitely keep Vinny in your thoughts and prayers. I know he can use it. I definitely know he can use it. Well, folks, it's 9:02. I have got Star Trek video games. You are really off track. Yeah, Star Trek Fleet Command. So, Steve, he's in the hospital again. Yeah, it's just one game, Ed. But it's getting to the point now. It's rather intense. In fact, you heard my alarm go off, but I knew it was going to be a wild week or a weird weekend where I had a lot going on. So I have set up on Friday at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I'd set up a 3-day shield, so I didn't have to worry about messing with it over the weekend. So. And Roy Smith. Yeah, Roy, that was one of the things that I did want to get into, is the fact that I've noticed, and I'm not sure I've obviously missed quite a bit. I know that Roy has been in and out of a coma. He is really fighting. I think, he's just really, he's been battling. I will give Roy that. But there's been some other folks that I've missed. What happened to oh geez, Chris up at RBP Trains? I haven't seen anything from him lately. That, and let's see, who else was it I was thinking about the other night that I hadn't seen anything from in a long time. Oh, T3, Tiny Town Trains. That I don't know whatever happened. I mean, he just kind of disappeared too. The other one I just saw, I think I just saw a video from him the other day, and that was the Oxford Railroad. I did see something from him, but yeah, I mean, it's just weird. I mean, I haven't seen anything from Chris or from T3 or and you're right, Grandpa. I haven't seen anything from Norman Rowe either, which is kind of strange. I think there's a couple other folks that I haven't seen anything from. I have seen some comments from Chattanooga Southern. That's Ian. I have seen a couple things from him. I do know that PDR. Yeah, I knew that he passed away. But like I said, and I'm with you, Artie. I have been MIA, and it was funny because I actually made your live stream for a few minutes last night. I have been so daggone busy between work, obviously with work, and then trying to get stuff done here, that live streams and have become tough for me to get into. Number one, and number two, the other thing is it's just trying to catch up on videos from folks has been challenging as well. Yeah, I know. Trust me. I mean, I miss getting in on Opa Dodges on Friday afternoon. I mean, we just don't. I mean, I haven't had the time. Mark Nichols, you're talking about Hobo on a Shoestring. Yep. Martin Searsma. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Welcome in, sir. Roy Smith, Union Pacific N-Scale Evanston Subdivision. Not to be confused with the HO scale Union Pacific Evanston Subdivision. Two different railroads. Yeah, I had actually heard about that, Martin, that they are going to put a new enterprise out there. Haven't seen Hillbilly in a while. Hillbilly. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I know we've lost a few folks, and you know, it's a shame. I mean, like I said, here it is over the last couple months. I lost, we lost Jr., who was the one that went ahead and did the my logo, my secondary logo. I'm the one that came up with the first one. And then my buddy JR came up with the one that's actually showing up in the chat when I put it in there. And of course, the logo that's actually up on street that actually shows up on YouTube or in the video is the one that Joe Geraci made for me. So. But yeah, I mean, there's just been some folks that have been MIA. Steel Road had to move. Okay, not quite sure who that was. So, but I mean, hey, life changes, things happen. You know, like I said, we got a heck of a gang here. We really, really do. And I really do appreciate everybody. Of course, I noticed that Mom and Son isn't in here tonight, but I did see something from them the other day, so I know that Tammy and Ray are still okay. I know Nissy wasn't in here tonight, but I know she's had her own things that she's been dealing with. Miss having her in here, her and Scott. But it is, and I know that Anthony from the Georgia Sun Belt, I know what's going on with him. So it is what it is, and it sucks getting old, doesn't it, James? And I hate to say it, but you're older than me. But yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from. Hey, there's Dave from Carolina Foothills. He was in here earlier, Dwight. It was great to have you up here back in April, Dave. Hopefully we can all get together again sooner rather than later. So, but were you kicking? Yeah. All right, folks. Well, I was getting ready to say before, it is now 10 after 11. Yeah. I tell people, 6 feet over is better than 6 feet under. GRE 2057, welcome in. Yep, 6 feet over is better than 6 feet under. Hey, Darby, thank you. Appreciate you being in here. Again, folks, I appreciate everybody being in here tonight and hanging out with me through our normal brand of nuttiness. Next week, it's August. Holy cow. which means we're back to the top of the order, and that would be John number 2 over to Schuylkill River Valley. And he'll be running the show next week, so you all know the deal. Wait for the high ball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you all next time. Be safe. God bless, and we will see ya.